Hi guys, you saw my video reviewing Monday Night Raw and how I'm going to do that. Well, I'm also going to be reviewing Monday Nitro. So, make things fair for those that were going to be like, oh, he only is going to review Raw. Well, I'm going to review Nitro as well, and I'm going to do the same thing as I mentioned about as Raw, where I will be reviewing the episodes and I'm going to be reviewing their pay-per-views that lead up from these episodes of Nitro. So, this one, obviously you guys could tell by now, this is the first episode of Nitro that I am about to review. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get into this review of the very first episode of Monday Nitro. This episode took place live on September the 4th, 1995, in the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Very interesting choice, to say the least, to host it. Commentators are Eric Bischoff, Steve Mongo McMichael, and Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's going to be your crew for a long time. Opening match, Jusha Thunder Liger against Flying Brian. For those of you like myself who remember back in the early 90s, Luger and Pillman would have those great matches, and then they ended up being a pretty good tag team, I remember at one point. This is just another good match between the two. Bischoff mentions that Liger is coming back. It's been like 4 weeks at this time since he returned from a broken leg. So he's a little bit ginger, which you could sort of tell in this match, but, it doesn't hide the fact, that they're still going to do high flying. Liger does a dive from the apron, rolling dive onto Pillman, and then Pillman comes back and he jumps from the top rope onto Liger, and it's a good back and forth match. And the end of the match, Liger goes for a roll up, but Pillman reverses it into his own roll up and was able to hold the legs long enough to get the 3 count and the victory. A good opening match. Not their best match, but it's still a good match between both men. Then we get a little promo from Sting saying how, Ric Flair, we're going to meet. We've walked down the same aisle. I'm the master of the Scorpion Deathlock. No one can do it better than me. Blah, blah, blah. Then we get to Pastamania. You don't believe me? I wrote it in my notes. You guys can see it. See? Pastamania. I had an exclamation point. Eric Bischoff does an interview with Hulk Hogan at Pastamania at the Mall of America, where, they're little kids. He's signing autographs. He talks about how he's been eating his Hulk U's and Hulk Foes and whatever. And, yeah, this is Hulk Hogan's celebrity contribution to restaurants. Pastamania. I really would like to know, how long that opened, and was the food any good? If any of you are watching this and you went to Pastamania, could you please tell me how it was? I'm just curious. Next up, the WCW United States title is on the line. First title ever defended on Nitro. Ric Flair challenges Sting for the title. And before the match happens, well, what the hell is he doing here? It's Lex Luger. Lex Luger appears. And Heenan tries to defend him, going, well, it's a public place. He can be wherever he wants to be. So they move Luger out eventually. This is a... this match, I swear. Sting does more military gorilla press slams than I think I've ever seen him do in a match. That's almost like his entire offense. It's like, boom. And then a minute later, boom. And then another minute later, boom. But Flair does get the advantage at most points of this match. Don't think it's all Sting military pressing Flair, even though it seems like it's the only offensive move he does. Towards the end of the match, Arn Anderson comes down to the ring, And, you know, they're wondering, oh, he and Flair, they patched things up. They're all right. You know, he's not doing anything. Then we get to the end of the match. Flair puts the figure 4 leg lock on Sting. And he grabs the rope, won't let go. Referee disqualifies Ric Flair for A, not letting go of the figure 4, and B, not letting go of the ropes. So Sting wins via disqualification. However, Anderson comes into the ring. He forces Flair off of the figure 4, and then the both of them start fighting. And Flair goes to the back, and Doug Dillinger, for some reason, blocks Arn Anderson from going back chasing him. So after Arn gets his stuff, here comes Scott Flash Norton out of nowhere, and he gets upset saying, you know, I'm supposed to have a match. Where's my match? Where's my opponent? He gets in Bischoff's face. He and McMichael are about to go at each other, and then all of a sudden, here comes Randy Savage out from the back, and he's challenging Norton to a fight. Both men want to do it. Savage is in the ring. Norton wants to get in, but he's being held back. And it's a great transition into this video package of a new star coming to WCW. I mean, Bischoff did it so bad. It was like, if you touch one more person, I promise you'll never wrestle here. And then Bischoff goes into, you know, here's a video package of a new star coming to WCW. And it's Sabu. So we get a video package of Sabu. A video package done pretty well, I must say, of Sabu in WCW. So after that, we come back and we get a quick reminder of WCW Saturday Night, where it is a double main event on that episode, even though it's not on the WWE Network yet. So the main events are Johnny B. Bad against Dirty Dick Slater, and Sting and Macho Man in a tag match against the Blue Bloods of Steven Regal and Sir Robert of Eaton. Yeah. And then we get a promo package of, wait, is that IRS? No. See, it's Michael Wall Street. And he cuts his promo saying how the new generation is more like the few generation, and he comes to WCW, and it's like, I hope the IRS are watching me. It's just a weird promo, but you could tell it's a Bischoff thing, because he takes a jab or two at WWF in the promo. You could just tell. Then we go to our featured match, Big Bubba Rogers, Big Boss Man, for you that don't know who that is, against Hulk Hogan in a non-title match. It's not really their best match. It's really not. It's just the same Hogan match. It really is. That's all I can say. You know, Hogan gets the advantage early. And even at one point, the referee's pulling, you know, Hogan by the hair to get off of Bubba Rogers. And, you know, I was like, whoa, you know, this is a little different. And then Bubba makes the comeback, and then he hits his move, and then Hogan does that whole shaking thing. Big boot, leg drop, 1, 2, 3, Hogan gets the win. So after the match, the Dungeon of Doom, specifically Kevin Sullivan, Kamala, the Zodiac, Shark, and Ming come out to go after Hogan. Well, all of a sudden, here comes Lex Luger. He's storming into the ring, and he helps Hogan take the members of the Dungeon of Doom out, so Hogan's not attacked. Then Hogan and Luger, they bump backs, and they're about to fight each other. Here comes Savage and Sting into the ring. They're taking one person each, and then we go to a commercial break. And we get a promo for War Games, which is September 17th, and it's a fight against muscular dystrophy. So that will not be the War Game match, by the way. So we come back. Mean Gene is in the ring. Hogan's wondering why is he here. Luger is saying, I've been where you've been. I've fought the same guys. I've beaten them all. I want to be where the big boys play. I want a shot at the title. Hogan says, I'll give you a shot at the title next week. They both shake hands, and they're still going nose to nose. And that's your episode of Monday Nitro. Oh, and at the end we see Steve McMichael's dog Pepe in a devil costume, which makes no sense. Okay, how do I think of this episode? Well, I gotta be honest. The opening match was a good match with Liger and Pillman. Those two men can have a good match anytime, anywhere, and they did here. The problem that I had with this first episode, and don't get me wrong, I'm not. If you guys are thinking I'm bashing WCW, even though they're out of business, all these years later, I'm not. The problem I had with this episode was it was the same matches. Liger and Pillman. Now, granted, that match probably has not happened in 2 or 3 years. So that gets a little bit of a pass. Sting and Flair. How many times have we seen Sting and Flair? Big Bubba and Hulk Hogan. How many times have we seen that? That's sort of a problem for me. There was a repetitive, you're a new show, first episode, you want to impress these people, put different matches on. Give me something different. Now, I'm not saying the hour time limit takes it away, which it doesn't. It's just, you could have had, different matches that people either have never seen or haven't seen in a long time. That's what Liger and Pillman did. That's a match that people who had followed WCW at that time have not seen in a long time. So like I said, that gets a pass. But when you have Flair and Sting for the 1,000,000th time, and you have Big Bubba Rogers, Big Boss Man, whatever you want to call him, and Hulk Hogan again, I don't know what else to say. Now, I think as far as an entertainment value goes, this was a good episode. It was. As far as originality goes, the match is not that good. Although the Luger surprise is a good surprise. And you got the sense that, there's something here. There's the possibility that this could be something big. So, the next episode, besides Hogan and Luger for the WCW title, Randy Savage against Scott Norton. So that'll be very interesting. One thing that I did not mention, and I really didn't think during the review it needed to mention, but I'm just going to put it out anyway. Mean Gene announces the winner of a Harley-Davidson contest. It was somebody from Alabama, so, yeah, that's how that went. And at times when I was watching it, and I was listening to Steve McMichael, you come up with all these different nicknames for Bobby Heenan. Bobby the Stain, Bobby the Hernia, just these weird names. It wasn't Art Donovan bad, but this first week it was sort of bad. But like I said, it's not Art Donovan bad. So overall, this first episode of Nitro, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said in the Nitro video, usually the pilot episode, the first episode's not going to be the best episode. And this is another example of that. I said it's okay, but it's not really the best. So hopefully they can get their momentum going, and they're really close to Fall Brawl, they're really close to the War Games, so it'll be very interesting there. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of the first episode of Monday Nitro. Next review of Nitro will feature those two matches I mentioned, Randy Savage against Scott Norton, and Lex Luger challenging Hulk Hogan for the WCW heavyweight title.